Hello, my name is Solomon King and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I share my thoughts on nursing, nurses, travel and lifestyle. Please, if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and click on the bell so you can be notified each time I upload a new video. If you like any of my videos, please click on the like button and share with your friends as well. At the end of the video, if you have any question at all or suggestions, please use the comment section and I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. Thank you. So let's get down to the business of today. As some of you are aware, the UK government has stopped what they call active recruitment of nurses from certain countries, most of which are developing countries in Africa, Afghanistan, from the Middle East, like that. So what this simply means is that recruitment agencies and companies are not allowed to make any advertisement about recruiting nurses from these countries. You also are aware that the way recruitment was last year and the year before is not the same anymore because of these restrictions on some of these countries. However, there is a way out for you if you can't find any recruiting agency or company to take you in. You can make direct applications the way I did to the hospital directly through NHS job website. So the way it works in the UK is this: people don't make applications on paper just directly to the hospital most of the time. What happens is these jobs are advertised on certain websites in the UK and they stay on this website for some time to allow people to make their applications. And the good thing is it's accessible to everybody, irrespective of whichever country you're applying from. You can make your applications on the website and the company or the hospital will see it. Okay, I know probably some of you watching this video, you have made the applications on these websites before, but they were unsuccessful. Now, one thing I noticed with people who have asked me questions about making direct applications is that sometimes when I check the applications, it's not that inviting. Just a couple of mistakes that would make the hospital not take the person. You always see that in the applications. Now, considering the fact that you are not alone, there may be other hundreds of applicants for the same job. You have to make your application stand out. Now, you are not just competing with nurses who are outside the EU. You are competing with UK residents, EU residents, and even nurses from countries that have some form of agreement with the UK government to recruit actively from these countries. For example, some countries in Asia like India, the Philippines, most of the time you will see under a job advert that if they are able to find a qualified EU resident or EU candidate, they may pick the person over you who is not in the EU. Of course, because of making applications for visa and things like that, and it's more expenses on the company, so you are obviously at a disadvantage. But then that is why you need to make your application stand out, and this is what this video is all about. And I will show you some of the mistakes I made personally and how to avoid them in making your own applications. Alright, just come with me. So guys, I'm just going to take you through the step-by-step process of making your job application. A fantastic one. For the sake of those who are new to direct job applications, I'm going to start from the very beginning, the website, how to register on the website, and then how to maybe make applications for or subscribe for email alerts on jobs whenever they appear on the website. Okay, let's do this. But for those who have made the application on this website before and were not successful, please watch to the end of the video. You might learn a thing or two. All right, so the website is track.jobs. Okay. Yep, here we go. So you see where they say login. Just click on that. Now, if you are new to the website, you'll see this place for register for a new account. Just click on it and then you enter your email address and start your registration. All right. But because I already have an account, I'm just going to go back and log in. All right, so here are all the job applications I made. Those I withdrew, the unsuccessful ones, about 3 of them. And the other ones I got called for interview. And the one I finally accepted. Okay, so now if you're new to this website and you have made your registration, you can as well enter this place that says jobs by email. Enter the place and you see something like receive jobs by email alerts directly to your inbox about newly added jobs. Just click yes, send me daily alerts or send me weekly alerts, whichever you want. Then choose a discipline. So here, you see that I've chosen about 55 disciplines under nursing and midwifery. So all these other ones, they don't concern me, community and all that, medical and dental, no. So here, if you enter it, I selected grade band 5, which is what a new nurse in the UK is starting with, band 5. Once you are registered with NMC and you have done your OSCE, you'll be placed on band 5. But of course, before you come to the UK for your OSCE, you have to start as a pre-registration nurse on either band 3 or 4, depending on your contract. But then the job applications you are making are for band 5, please. So you make selected band 5 to 6. I just put the 6 just there. Definitely they won't accept me as band 6 straight away. So I've selected all these that I think I'm interested in to receive job alerts for. But of course, the ones that are particular to me are, where is it? Yeah, general medical and general surgical. Those were the ones I actually wanted, because from my country, I was a general nurse. All right, so once you've done that, okay, once you've selected, you can then click on save, choose all UK regions. Instead, choose the kind of employer you would like to receive alerts about. So I choose health, I choose civil service health. Alerts from employer jobs, and so click on save. And then now I can go back to my applications. So I'm going to show you a few things about these applications that were unsuccessful. Now I had applied to Royal Wolverhampton NHS Trust because I really like them. They have a very good program and I have some of my friends over there. And I've read a few things about them and I enjoyed the place. So I made different applications on the same day. yeah, I think 4th of March, 4th of March, 4th of March, the same day, but it wasn't successful. Okay, and then I went further to make this particular application. I made a lot of changes, or a few changes rather, to some things I wrote on my application. And for some reason, they gave me the opportunity to be interviewed. I withdrew this one before making this particular application. So if you want to make any direct job application from here without waiting for the email alert to be coming every day, you can go on to current vacancies, click on that, go to nursing and midwifery. Okay, select the occupation. So let's say we're going on to nursing services. And remember I said I love general medical or general surgical. Okay, if you have any particular one in mind, maybe critical care for those who are ICU nurses, cardiothoracic, if you had the relevant qualification and experience for any of these, you can choose them. But I'm taking general medical. And then for band 5, so UK, any location, except you have any particular location in mind, then you can choose anyone here. Okay. So, but any location is fine for me, any organization. And let's do the search. And here we go. So staff nurse, University College London, medicine. So let's try this and see. For London lovers. All right, so first thing first, you are going to see all the details, or a summary rather, about the employers. So it's the job summary, main area, medicine, grade 5, permanent, and so on and so forth. So the salary scale is already there. So this salary scale includes the London pay, because London is an expensive area. The pay is usually higher than other areas of the UK. So, and then the closing date of this particular advert. All right, so it's staff nurse for medicine. At UCLH, our success starts with you. This is an exciting opportunity to join one of the largest and most successful foundation trusts, blah, blah, blah. Please take your time to read this thing very well. Okay. Now it says here you must have appropriate UK professional registration. Now you will see this particular caption in almost all the applications, all the job adverts that you will see. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Go ahead and make your application to as many employers as possible. Now this website is for NHS jobs. Okay, there are other sites for care home and all that, and I will put those ones later and I'll put them up. Now, here are some vital documents I need to download. Job description, functional requirements, and trust values. It's really important that you study these documents before making your application, because they will help you to know exactly the kind of person they are looking for this particular role. Now, what this means is this job has the kind of person they are looking for. And if you do not qualify for this particular role, then even if you apply, the chances of being taken is not is very slim. So read the job description, and then it will help you to know how to draft a good supporting statement, which is one of the most important thing in your CV. Let's make our application first. I will come back to this later. So this is privacy notice from the website. You can read it on your own. It's really long. Now continue. So here we are. Pre-application questions. So there are some certain questions that are very peculiar to some employers. Okay, now this one is peculiar to UCLH, the hospital we are using as a sample now. All candidates for the posts at UCLH are required to complete our values assessment, okay? So if you have done so successfully, please enter your certificate number. Of course, we have not done that. So we're going here to continue. Are you currently an employer of UCLH? No. Choose your immigration status. A lot of people get confused here. All right, you need to choose the one that applies to you. This is for people with right to work in the UK. If you are somebody coming into the UK on a visa, you're not a UK citizen, you're not a resident, then this does not apply to you. You do not have indefinite leave to remain, which is like a form of permanent residency document. Then this does not apply to you. Highly skilled migrant or tier 1, you are not under this because you will be coming in as a tier 2 applicant. So this does not apply to you. Tier 1 post-study work scheme. This is for students who are coming on the newly introduced visa that allows students to stay after their study. Now this does not apply to if you're not a student or you're not already in the UK as a student who has finished their study. Right to remain by ancestry. If this may not apply to you if it's not yours, so and so on and so forth. So the one that people get confused mostly with is this one. So you see something like work permit or tier 2 visa that was sponsored for me by my current employer. Apparently you're not yet in the UK, so you do not have any work permit yet. I have not been sponsored, so this definitely does not apply to you. Then this one, overseas qualified nurse or midwife visa for adaptation or supervised practice placement. Now on track job, this particular one is for those who are already in the UK and already maybe they sponsor themselves to come over to the UK and they've maybe passed their OSCE or something like that and probably an adaptation or whatever. This does not apply to you if you're still in your country, okay? But I think the only reason why somebody would choose this is if the other option is not available, which is this one. If this option is not available, then you can go with this one, which is the closest. Now with this one, it says no current visa or right to work in the UK will require sponsorship for a tier 2 visa before applying for entry clearance, which is perfectly what applies to anyone coming over to the UK on a work visa if you do not have a right to work in the UK yet. So with this will mean that the employer has to understand that they will have to sponsor you by applying for a certificate of sponsorship for you, which is the work permit. All right, so we are going to choose this one. So please supply details of any permit currently held, including you do not hold any permit, so well, I don't hold any permit. Sorry about that. Do you hold a full and valid registration with NMC? This is a dicey question, okay? But usually you should have these 3 options. But sometimes some applications will just put yes or no. Okay, and it won't be this particular question, might be, do you have appropriate registration with the NMC? You will answer something like yes or no.
normally I advise people to choose yes, because once you choose no, it doesn't make any sense, because you're already in the application process. You may have even gotten your decision later. You understand? So you're not on yet on the register, yes, but you're already in the process. It's just the OSCE that is holding you, which the employer is supposed to sponsor. So choose yes in that particular scenario. But in this case, where you have these three options, you have yes, I do hold a full and valid no. However, I am awaiting my registration, right? So here we go. No, however, I'm awaiting my registration. Then you continue. So this one is particularly for the hospital to know. Remember your job summary is still here and all that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to answer something. Oh, okay. There's an error. It must be answered. Oh, we forgot to start values assessment. I think it's compulsory if you're applying to UCLH, as they already said. All candidates for posts at UCLH are required to complete our values assessment. So let's do that. Start values assessment. So I'm just going to fill my details. The following are a set of scenarios that we might be faced with every day, together with 4 possible ways to respond to that scenario. These scenarios could be about how you would deal with patients or with those you might work with as real examples of things you may endure in a hospital. Sorry, I'm reading this for the first time, just like you. I've never applied to UCLH too. So let's do this together in case you are faced with it. We're interested in what you would naturally do, so give us your initial response. This is likely to be the one that best represents you. Okay, let's continue. You pick up the phone and the person calling is frustrated because they have been put through to you by mistake. I would do this. I would do this as well. But the best way for them to call back on the personally, I am unlikely to do this. If they're already frustrated, ask them for more details, take their number, and make sure the right person. No, I wouldn't do this. It's not something I can promise anyway. So you enter a hospital lift and notice a patient wearing a hospital gown, which is open at the back and exposed. Oh, there's a lot. Welcome to London. All right, finish. Oh, great. So here's my certificate number. Great. Welcome to London. So I'm going to go back now here and input this certificate number. Okay, now we can continue. Please try to read everything stated for each application before giving your answers. Like I said, you always see this there. You must have appropriate UK professional registration. So because I already have previous applications, so they always give you the option, if you want to reuse the CV you use for other hospitals with on this particular application, or you want to start with a blank form. So for the purpose of those who are just starting, let's do a blank form. All right, so from here now, you see something like UK National Insurance Number. This does not apply to you because you're not yet in the UK, so just leave it. It's not everything you must answer. First available date for employment. Doesn't apply to you, just move on. Are you related to a member or employee of? No. Relations name, well, I'm not related, so it doesn't apply. Have you ever been dismissed from previous employment? No. Some of these questions are very vital, okay? And there have been stories around people lying about their previous employment issues, especially if that previous employment is something you've had in the UK. They may not know what goes on in your home country and you might be covered. But if you have any issues in your previous employment and you don't talk about it and you lie about it, they now find out later on. They take some of these things very seriously. Any unspent criminal convictions, whatever, no. No. Does your name appear on that petition? No. So these are the things I already answered earlier on. So let's move on. Okay. Now, application questions. Good. So here's the thing now. In this part, you just put your education and training like a normal CV, place of study, qualification, grade or result, date obtained. Okay, so if you had a BSc, put your bachelor's nursing. Or if it's diploma, you can put diploma in nursing science. Maybe place of study, let's say university. So grade or result, upper class, 2-1, whatever it is you want to put. Let's say first class honors. So if you had a master's or a PhD or other qualifications, you can add subjects. Okay, or if it's another place of study entirely, you can add another place of study. Now, training courses attended. So any other formal training. For instance, there are people who go for basic life support training, say BLS, ACLS. Please provide details of any proposed further qualifications. So maybe master's, nursing science. Professional registration. If you are state registered, please complete the following section. So, well, you are not yet registered. I didn't feel this during my time. I didn't see any need. Like I said, it's not everything that you must answer. There are very specific ones that you have to answer. Like anyone that is starred, it's compulsory that you must answer that. So I don't think there should be anything around here that you need. What is your current main activity? Talking about current job, course, or other main activities. So now you have, let's say, fully employed. The date you started, you put that. Job title if applicable. Description of duties. Please take your time to describe your duties for this particular job title. Okay. Employer or college name if you are in school. And put college name if you're in school or studying for this particular period. Now, most hospitals will not want you to have employment gaps, too many employment gaps that you cannot account for. So, for example, if you're not working the whole of 2018, you have to state why you're not working. If you're in school, then you should put school here and put the dates. Okay. So this is your current job. telephone number, grade, salary. For example, where I was working in Nigeria, it was a private hospital, so I didn't really know what to put on the grade. You can put junior nurse if you like. That was one of the things I used. Then put salary. So this is your employment history for the last period of the last 3 years. There should be no gaps in your activity history for the last 3 years. Meaning that even if there is a gap, like you're not working, the question is, what were you doing? So in this type of activity, for example, you need to put something. If it doesn't fall under any of this, then you have to put others. Fill out something. What were you doing exactly? So if it's other, then no need for employer or college name or anything or all of that. You need to put the country. So since you're not working those times, you can simply come here and describe. Just write something. You're not working because you're sick or something. Since it's past employment history, you need to put reason for leaving. If this does not cover the last 3 years, then you can click on add another. You can keep adding until it is up to 3 years. Now, the reason they put start date and end date, the day this one ends, ensure that the next thing you're going to add should start from when this one ended. It's really important so that you don't have that employment gap that they said you shouldn't have. Now, here's one of the major things, supporting statement. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Inter-authority transfer. So I guess this is for those already working in the UK. If you move from one NHS trust to the next one, they might be able to move you on the next salary scale from the previous NHS trust. Do you give consent to the trust obtaining details of your previous NHS continuous record via internal authority transfer? So yeah, you can give your consent if you're already in the UK, but if it doesn't apply to you, just move on, or sorry, not applicable. So you've already done the pre-screening question. So let's move on. Declaration, yeah. Now references, so you need to put all your references here. Normally, I would advise that you put names of your previous employers or your, starting with your current employer, of course, as your referee. Because they're going to ask, like you are saying already here, what was your job title in that place? How do they know you? Okay, so that I don't put the name of just some random person, because the kind of questions they ask them via email is related to work. If you have been working with them before, they need to attest to the fact that you have been working with them before. And that's it. And the other bit, okay? So if you're not ready to submit your application yet, you can save the application and then come back to it later. It will be saved on your account. It's not going anywhere. If you're ready to submit, then submit. Now back to this supporting statement. So it says, please read the job description and person specification carefully and make full use of this section to provide further information in support of your application. Please be sure to include the reasons why you are applying for this post, details of any relevant experience gained either in a paid or voluntary capacity, details of any training, education, or other interest relevant to the post, details of personal attributes you have to support your application. Now, I keep telling people that most often this is where the problem lies. Every letter might be fine. You already have the required number of years of experience you're looking for this particular role. You finish education, you have good employment history, but you come here and mess up by either writing something in bullet form. Some end up writing things like, I am very thorough, my work. Like just list some qualities that are not, this should be written in an essay form. It's supporting information, shouldn't put bullets to it. It's more like a cover letter. Okay, so I'm going to take you to my other applications and then show you just a sample of this. Now, remember I said earlier, before we started this making this application, that you have to download that job description that I put earlier for you to download. Sorry about that. Job description, the trust values. Yeah. So the employer wants to know whether you have even read about their hospital at all. So if I were you, to stand out, you need to have something like about the hospital that you like in your supporting statement. Somewhere in your supporting statement, put it there. Take your time and put a good supporting statement that is peculiar to this employer. I advise people a lot, stop using the same supporting information for different jobs. It's not ideal. Okay, not ideal. You might be lucky, but it's not ideal because different jobs, different hospitals have that different things they're looking for in a person for that particular role. All right, so let's go back to, all right, we're here. So I'm going to show you one of these unsuccessful applications. All right, and then we're going to make comparison, comparing it with this, where is it? This particular one that I was invited for the interview, although I wasn't able to, I didn't take the interview because my hospital already gave me my COS as at that time. I really loved Wolverhampton, so that's why you're seeing a lot of Wolverhampton applications here. Yeah, but at the time, they had too many applicants. I mean, a lot of applicants. It's not an expensive area, it's a very cheap area compared to Southampton where I am now. And you can see they have this international clinical nurse fellowship thing that will, they sponsor the nurses to further their studies up to master's level. Yeah, so I really wanted that. And that's why I made a lot of applications to them at the time. All right, so let's go to this particular one. Let's see. So I'm going to download this job description and person specification so that we can all go through it together. Then their values and visions. These standards and the map, maybe not necessary, but these two are very important for your supporting statement. And let's download this as well. Now, here are their core values: safe and effective, kind and caring, exceeding expectations. So it says we will work collaboratively to prioritize the safety of all within our care environment. Then kind and caring will act in the best interest of others at all times. Exceeding expectation, we will grow a reputation for excellence as our norm. Now, looking at these three things, you need to give them something that shows you've read about their values And this is why you think you will fit into their organization. That aside, then for this one, so again, their values are here, and this is their vision. Here we go. Job summary. So remember what we are doing now is job description and person specification. Next. These are the main duties to ensure safe and effective clinical practice. This is for this role. For this role, you might see another job advert from the same Wolverhampton, but it may not be this particular main responsibilities. Okay, national chart and all of that. They're responsible for assessment and all that. Of course, you know the normal duties of a nurse now. Okay. Let's keep going. Now, person specification, important. Okay, specification, qualifications. Register with NMC. Of course, you are not yet, so you need to state there that you've gotten your decision letter and you are just awaiting OSCE. Okay. Diploma, degree, yeah, which you may already have, definitely. Mentorship course, post-basic qualification in a specialty if you have. Basic neonatal and adult life support skills, like the basic life support, if you've had that training. That's why I said under additional qualifications or additional studies in the other application I showed you in the UCLH, put your BLS there, basic life support, and put when you finished it. Then experience or skills, things like that, well-developed IT skills and all that. You don't have to write about everything here, okay? It shouldn't be too cumbersome. Your writing should not be too cumbersome, but it should reflect something about what is here, okay? Any other thing that you think they should know. All right, let's go back to the application. So let's view my application now. We're going down straight to, and let's read my supporting statement together. Now you can see in their own supporting information what they're looking for. In this section, you need to demonstrate that you have read the published person specification and how you meet the essential and where relevant desirable criteria for this particular post. If this has not been fully covered in the previous sections. So for example, now if you had put BLS before as something you have done before, I mean, you put it in the other section, there's no need repeating some of those things here, not necessary. Please include your reasons for applying and take the opportunity to highlight your particular talents and strengths. What if you can personally offer? What is unique to you? What sets you apart from your peers? Please do not include personal details or duplicate information already provided elsewhere in your application. So now look at what I wrote. I am a highly dedicated nurse, open to learning and very keen on career advancement. Having gone through the rigorous process for NMC registration, I strongly believe that I'm fit to practice as a nurse in the UK after my OSCE. I would like to bring my experience with any kind of working in kind of patient, having had experience in both hospital and private care settings in my home country, Nigeria, working with very little resources to provide exceptional care to patients of all ages represented in Nigeria, has given me much confidence to do the same wherever I find myself, the UK inclusive. I'm very thorough with tasks. Yeah, if it's something they need. If you read the job description and person specification, and over time have discovered how my perfection and perfect personality has become a major strength in my clinical skills and delivery of care. Remember, they said to highlight your particular talent and strength. I believe I can reproduce the same in your hospital. To conclude, the healthcare system cannot survive without collaboration. Teamwork is of great concern to me, and I have subjected myself to it over the years. I'll make sure to replicate this if employed. Thank you. Okay, this is not rich enough. I've only said only one or two things, I think, which are not even in details. All right, now compare this to the other one. This one. Mind you, this is just a sample. Okay, not saying your supporting statement is not the only thing that will give you the job. Like I said from the beginning of the video, we are competing with a lot of people. And Wolverhampton did not give me the job when I needed it, but my Southampton gave me. Okay, so keep applying to different hospitals, but make sure that you observe these particular rules. Don't slack, don't just relax and write few lines for them. It's very important. That's the real reason for this video. Okay, now here we go. So I am a highly motivated and dedicated registered nurse in Nigeria, open to learning and very keen on career advancement. This is just an opening statement. It is very vague. So I need to demonstrate in the other aspects of my writing how I am able to show this. I am particularly impressed by and attracted to the hospital's commitment to employees' career advancement and research, as I am interested in pursuing a career in theater nursing in the near future. Remember, by this paragraph, I have already told them that I read something about their hospital. They say they are committed to ensuring that excellence is produced as a norm in their organization. So I'm saying now that I've read that the hospital is committed to their employees' career advancement and research. And of course, because I want to pursue a career in theater nursing. It's one of the reasons why I think I will be okay working with them, because I know that they will add value to me as much as I would add value to them, which is something I will state later on. And don't forget, I said that I've read about them, that they provide the nurse fellowship program. All right, I would like to bring in my experience, which is something I already stated in the other one. Furthermore, working in a large hospital under great pressure and intense stress daily for over a year now has helped me to devise, mechanisms in working under such stressful conditions without putting my patients or colleagues in danger. Why did I do this? Prioritization of duties and time management have helped me immensely alongside music therapy during my breaks and off days. Now, you don't just say what you are. Okay, you don't just state the qualities. You have to demonstrate it in your writing. That's the word. If you just come out and say that you have ability to work under pressure, how? That's vague. How do you have the ability to work under pressure? What sort of pressure are we talking about? Where have you even worked? Have you worked in the hospital before? Do you know the kind of pressure that is there? How can you demonstrate that you can work under pressure? And I've stated something that helps me. I prioritize duties and I try to ensure time management for each of the duties, because it's really tough here, I must tell you. So most of the questions you will see during your interviews would be, how would you manage stress? Especially if you're applying to an acute care hospital. Now let's continue. The healthcare system cannot survive without collaboration. Teamwork is of great concern to me, and I have subjected myself to it over the years. ensuring that the patient at the center of the team gets the best possible care through the contribution of all. I will make sure to replicate this if employed. Can we go now? I am very thorough with tasks. I've already said it before. Okay, I believe I can reproduce this in your prestigious NHS trust. It is worthy of note also that this is the best part for me, also that the Royal Wolverhampton NHS Trust values safe and effective, kind and caring, and exceeding expectation, I believe, are what maintain greatness in any healthcare organization, because they ensure that the patient or client gets the very best of care that would not be forgotten in a hurry. This I pledge to uphold. I have just shown that I read about it, their trust values, and I know why it is important, because it is something that I believe in as well. Take your time, give them hook lines, okay? In conclusion, having gone through the rigorous process for NMC registration, including CBT, I strongly believe that I'm fit to practice in line with NMC code as a nurse in the UK after my OSCE. Not boring, not too long. Okay, but it should highlight something. I must say this at this point, that's definitely many people have gotten their way around job applications without writing this much. But that doesn't mean that this is not very, very important. And many of you may have been getting rejections because you did not settle down to draft this, or because you did not settle down to study the job description and person specification, especially that person specification. Why you should do that is, what happens if that particular role, they are looking for people with at least 3 years experience? Not that you shouldn't apply, but at least you know that you are just applying in case they don't get people like that, they might consider you, just like with any other job application. But you need to put in your best. Now let's go back and let me show you what I mean. This is the one I finally took, my Southampton job. Let's see, statement, very short. And I even said some things which I said in other job applications. But the reason why they could come here is because the similarities with the job description and person specification for this particular job I applied for. It is a very short supporting statement. I don't know, I think it's just grace that covered me. Okay. So I'm a highly dedicated nurse, open to learning and keen on career development. Yeah. So in Southampton, they also have 3 core values. So they have working together, putting patients first. Oh, I can't say it again. Yeah. So our values and vision. Here, yeah. Putting patients first, working together, always improving, just like that Wolverhampton, open to learning and very keen on career development. Having gone through the rigorous process for NMC registration, I strongly believe that I'm fit to practice as a nurse in the UK after my OSCE. I am interested in pursuing a career in theater nursing. This has been my thing before coming here. I guess I'm having a rethink. I would like to bring in my experience working, I've said this before. I am very thorough with tasks, and over time discovered that I've said this before. To conclude, the healthcare system cannot survive without collaboration. Teamwork is of great concern to me, and I've subjected myself to it over the years. I will make sure to replicate this if employed. So it's basically the things I already said before, just made some changes to the paragraphs. Some hospitals may not be so demanding, and they may not have as many applicants for that particular job. So you can easily get in if you apply. So apply to as many as possible, as long as they have sponsorship for overseas nurses. Apply. There are some jobs that they will tell you that you need to have your PIN. Specifically, you need to have your PIN. You can't apply for them, obviously, because you don't have your PIN yet. So with this, I'm going to conclude this video here. And I say, good luck. Have a great application ahead, and hopefully in your next application, you'll be called in for interview. Now, I may not be able to share interview tips here, but what I can say when it comes to interview is for you to be very confident. They don't expect you to know everything about the UK system of healthcare, but be confident and say things from your heart. All right? They've asked you, some people ask very practical question. If, how do you manage pressure in your hospital, for example? Okay. Yeah, if you should think of when you have really been under pressure and answer them from your heart. All right. Have a wonderful day ahead.